Hello heroes, how are you doing? Hope you are having a wonderful time of the day. It is me, your local depressed millennial gamer Samuel Smith. Now, if you click this video, you have probably watched the latest Overwatch Papa Jeff developer update, which brought some interesting news. Let's start with a minor one, being the experimental card for all platforms. What it basically is a PTR servers brought to live servers. And the idea in itself is good, because the PTR is not played much from my experience. And thus most likely don't get enough data from it, so bringing them to live servers is certainly a good idea. But here's my but. Does it really matter? With the frequency of the updates that we currently get, those experiments on PTR usually don't change that much. For example, I would like something like a new map being added once per 2 or at least 3 months, but we don't get that. I would like a new character or at least a drastic change to some, much more frequently. And the somewhat major news that we got from the update are the hero pools, which I find interesting, but I believe that Overwatch is not at the point in terms of character roster where any kind of hero ban, be it player choice or Blizzard choice, is necessary. At this point of time we only have 31 heroes, being like 8 tanks, 7 support and 6 in DPS. And here is where Overwatch 2 comes into play. Because in my beliefs all of these minor changes are being done just because the developers in a way do not, well, I wouldn't say care, but more like don't want to dedicate much time to the base Overwatch in the preparations for Overwatch 2 release, which is potentially with PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X near the end of the year, as that is also when the BlizzCon takes place. From what I remember, 5 new characters and a new game mode push will be added day 1 to Overwatch 2. And one would say that it's amazing, but there are actually other games coming out before that, and if you take Twitch viewership as an example, the interest in Overwatch is dropping quite a bit. As an example, the monthly average viewership dropped from around 30k to 20k, while the peak viewership dropped from around 90k to 45k. And those peaks being the Overwatch League streams. Also, the rank of Overwatch dropped from top 5 down to top 15 and at points even top 20. And from this rank graph we can see that the interest is really falling quite a bit. This is also shown well with this Google search stat, where we can see that the Overwatch search fell from 67 points down to 42. So here is where an unknown little indie game studio comes into play. Riot Games. The developer of LoL, League of Legends, as they announced that they are releasing a game potentially sometime this year, and probably before Overwatch 2. Project A is a hero-based first-person shooter, which is somewhat of a mixture of Overwatch and CSGO, and in my opinion it has a tremendous potential to bite into the player base of Overwatch itself. One, it being that it's free, unlike Overwatch and the upgrade to Overwatch 2, and second, it's made by Riot Games. And if we saw anything is that they know how to market a game and push it high with all the tournaments, as well as the enormous prize pools for said tournaments. So will Overwatch 2 save Overwatch? Well, at this point of time, not really by much. I think that the current Overwatch should be looked after much more, as just some balance updates are not enough for that. The devs should listen to their own game, cause
you know, the world could always use more heroes.
But that is still not really the way, in my humble opinion. Overwatch team should look at their grandfather, Team Fortress 2. That game lived so long mostly due to one thing, the creative community it has. The thing that Overwatch also has, but it's not using. The higher-ups at Blizzard should see that they need to utilize them. For example, how many of you have seen amazing map concepts thrown around Reddit or Twitter or other places? How many hero concepts have you seen there as well? In my opinion, the devs, instead of wasting time on hero pool mechanics and such, should dedicate the time to releasing the mapping tools. If they don't want to do that, they can make a Portal 2 style map builder for the custom servers. Overwatch League is not enough on its own to motivate players, especially with some of the brick walls it has built around itself. I would really like to have seen something like a map competition as soon as last year, where the winner would get their map put into the games. where the winner would get their map put into the game. Same goes for characters, like wouldn't it be really amazing to have your own creation put into the game? On the topic of that, I would really not mind even voicing one. But anyway, once again, I hope you are having a wonderful time of the day, and let's keep this rolling.